Hello there. We're going to talk to you about Chapter 12, Section 4, More Technological Advances.
In 1832, Samuel F. B. Morse perfected the telegraph, a device that could send information over wires across great distances. To build it, Morse put together many other scientists' studies of electricity and magnetism in a machine. To send information on the telegraph, people used Morse code, different combination of dots and dashes that represent each letter of the alphabet, developed by Alfred Lewis Vail. Some people doubted Morse's machine and didn't believe he was really reading messages from far away. Morse's break came when a telegraph was used to spread news of the presidential candidate's nomination to politicians in Washington during the 1844 Democratic National Convention in Baltimore, Maryland. The waiting politicians responded, "3 cheers for the telegraph." Soon telegraphs were sending and receiving information for businesses, the government, newspapers, and private citizens. Telegraph companies attached their wires to poles along railroads all over the country and established telegraph offices in many train stations. By the time he died in 1872, Morse was famous for his invention across the U.S.
At the start of the Industrial Revolution, most factories ran on water power. In time, however, most factory owners began using the steam power system. While water power was okay at first, it had many problems. One of them is limiting where you can put factories because they had to be next to lakes, rivers, or any body of water. With steam power, they could build them wherever they want. This meant they could hire more people at lower wages because they could build them next to cities. With more people working at factories, it led these workers to innovate the designs of the machines. By the 1840s, new machines were available to produce interchangeable parts. Soon, they began even making custom equipment. During the 1830s, technology began transforming the farm as well as the factory. One of the inventors of a farm invention was John Deere. He designed the steel plow in 1837. By 1846, he was selling 1,000 plows per year. Another inventor was Cyrus McCormick. He made a new harvesting machine called the mechanical reaper. This invention quickly and efficiently cut down wheat. These two inventions allowed farmers to harvest huge crop fields. By 1860, the U.S. farmers were producing more than 170 million bushels of wheat and more than 8 million bushels of corn per year.
Many inventions of the Industrial Revolution made life easier. Someone named Alexis de Tocqueville of France visited the U.S. and found a quality that most Americans have. They found that they always want to be making life more comfortable and convenient. The sewing machine was one of those inventions. The sewing machine was first invented by Elias Howe. Isaac Singer made improvements on the sewing machine and allowed customers to buy the machines using credit or service. By 1860, his company was the world's largest maker of sewing machines. Some inventions improved on everyday items. An invention called the icebox was cooled by large blocks of ice that cooled and stored fresh food. Iron cook stoves replaced cooking fires and stone hearths. Companies began mass-producing earlier inventions which allowed many families to buy household items. that were unable to buy in the past. Some useful items created in this period are matches and safety pins. All of these inventions helped make life at home more convenient for Americans. Before in Isaac Singer's earlier years, he made and patented a rock drilling machine for the government. A few years later, he invented a metal and wood carving machine and opened up his own factory. He was so happy with it, and then it exploded. In 1850, Singer was working as a sewing machine repairman. One day he was asked to fix a Leroy and Brodgett sewing machine, and designed and constructed a much better model. He was later sued for patent infringement, and he won. He started mass-producing interchangeable parts to cut production costs and sell them for an affordable price. His company became the biggest sewing machine manufacturer worldwide. On July 23, 1875, he died a millionaire. John Deere was born in Vermont on February 7, 1804. John's father left for England and he was raised by his mother. His father was never seen again. He became a blacksmith apprentice at the age of 17, and he set up his first trade 4 years later. He spent the next 12 years keeping trade steady in various towns around Vermont. He headed west at the age of 33 in Illinois. He set up a blacksmith shop there too. He sent out for his wife and he had 9 kids. As a blacksmith, he found himself making the same repairs to plows over and over. He realized that the plow was not made well, so he made his own. With his own plow design, he started mass-producing the tools and he made his own company. He died on May 17, 1886, and today his company's worth has climbed up to more than $50 billion. Samuel F. B. Morse was born in 1791 and was the first child of clergymen Jebediah Morse and Elizabeth Morse. His parents wanted his education to be great and wanted him to adapt the Calvinist faith. He went to Yale College and focused on electricity and art. After graduating from Yale in 1810, Samuel wished to pursue art as a career, but his dad wanted him to have a more substantial profession and arranged him to be an apprentice at a library or publisher in Boston, Massachusetts. He then decided to study art in England. He returned to America. He married Lucretta Walker and had 3 kids. The time was difficult, but Morse painted some of his most notable work during that period. When giving birth to their 3rd child, Lucretta died. Morse's father died, and his mother died 3 years later. He promised that he would make the telegraph. He made it and made millions. Samuel Morse died on April 2nd, 1872, at his home at age 81.